Week 10 preview. We're going to start with Seattle, Tampa Bay. O-line needs to protect for Brady. That's it. It just has to happen, bro. There is no way in hell that if you just give Tom Brady a little bit of time, he will dice you up. That's all he needs, and he hasn't been getting any. He's been getting less time than let's see who probably comes fast. He's get less time than Joe Biden in bed. You know, if his thing even works anymore, man. Okay, clean up the simple things for Tampa Bay. If you're Tampa Bay, too many drops, too many penalties, too much stupid shit that cost you the game. That obviously they could have lost easily last week against the Rams, but they didn't. Don't abandon the run game. Fournette didn't get enough carries as he should, and it's been like that for weeks on end. Like, they're just not running the ball. They're just abandoning the run game in these close games, and I don't know why, because it's not like the run game has ever been bad with Fournette. They've always been good, even if it was like Ronald Jones in 2020 or whoever was carrying the ball. Like, they never had a bad running game. So I know your O-line's a little banged up and it's a little different from the years past, but don't abandon the run game, please. Just stick with it for one game. Just see what happens, you know? Just try and come up with a little, like, do some traps or like some wham blocks, pulling guards, counter runs. Do something to spice it up, you know? Don't just do inside zone, hand it off, and you got no fullback. And it's fucking boring. It's just not going to work. Teams are going to figure you out, especially with a bad offensive line now. It's a lot. It's a whole different ball game. So clean up the simple things for Tampa Bay. Seattle, very efficient, very balanced, and it's the complete opposite of what Tampa Bay is. They're not efficient or balanced. Seattle's top 5 in third down percentage. Tampa Bay's bottom of the league. Seattle's top 5, man. They seem to be top 5 in a lot of offensive categories, but third down conversion percentage, that's a big one. So Seattle, they clearly, talent-wise, they don't really outmatch Tampa Bay all that much, but honestly not, because on the defensive side of the ball, Tampa Bay, they may not be fully healthy, but I think they're a better team overall in terms of talent. So it's anyone's game. I honestly think it can go either way just because of how that last game ended against the Rams. So I'm curious to see if Tampa Bay brings that momentum into the game against Seattle. I'm gonna pick Tampa Bay. I don't know what the line is, but I'm gonna pick Tampa Bay against my better judgment, only because I can't see Brady just going, like, losing this much. You know what I mean? It's just every time you think Brady is going to do bad, every time you doubt him, that's right when he, you know, gets the train moving again, man. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. You know what I mean? Whatever that means. I don't even know who the fuck came up with that dumbass term, but it's a term. I'm going to use it in this case because it's Tom Brady, man. I'm not going to doubt Brady. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got a lot of problems, but if they can just do the simple things, right? Don't drop shit. Don't stop dropping fucking passes. That's the simplest thing that you can do. That's it. Seattle, keep doing what you're doing. You're balanced. You have really no issues. You're efficient as any team. Don't turn the ball over. You're very efficient on third down. Completion percentage, Geno's really accurate. So, got nothing to change. No concerns if you're Seattle. Just don't beat yourselves, I guess. Don't do what Tampa Bay does. Cleveland and Miami. This is a little bit of a trap game for Miami, I think. You know I would have been more confident if Cleveland was at home. Now, I'm going to take Miami, but Cleveland gives up big plays. But they can also shorten the game like they did against the Bengals 2 weeks ago with turnovers, and you get Nick Chubb going. That's when it's a different ball game, when they don't turn the ball over and when they're taking the ball away and they're running the ball really well. But the Browns, 11.1 yards per play allowed. That's the 5th worst in the league. They give up some big plays, and Miami is definitely a team that can, you know, kill you with big plays. So, yeah, Miami can also run away with it. It's not a secret. It takes 2 plays for them. They're just like Kansas City and Buffalo, but I do think that Cleveland has a chance because they run the ball as well as anyone, and I really believe that they're gonna run it hard because they know that they don't have the passing attack to keep up with Miami. Unless their running game is going nuts. You know, bananas. Nuts and bananas. Banana split. I can use one right now. Haven't had one in a while. I don't think I've ever had one. Who the fuck eats a banana split? Honestly, if you eat a banana split, you're a pussy. But I honestly respect it because I don't think I'd have the balls to go on the boardwalk in New Jersey when you got funnel cake and you got 3 brothers. And don't do that on the boardwalk, man. Don't do it. It's bad for business. You get funnel cake, get normal stuff. Don't fucking go off that. Don't be getting like weird shit like fried pickles and stuff, you fucking animal. Don't do that. And the Cleveland Browns ain't going to switch it up. They're going to stick with what they know, just like you stick with what you know on the boardwalk. I feel like they're capable. Honestly, for both teams, McDaniel said that he wanted to run the ball 30 times, and that hasn't happened yet. This is the game to try it. This is the game to try it. The Browns' run defense ain't that good. You can hit some big plays over the top off play action. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be really interesting. I like this game. But I'm going to pick Miami. Minnesota Buffalo. Josh Allen did not practice as of Friday. So it is really looking like he is not going to play. Case Keenum would be under center if that is the case. And that means Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs will be playing their former team at home. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I thought it was going to be close regardless. But now that Keenum is likely playing, I think it's going to be, really close. Defensive game. Either way, I really Josh Allen not playing really doesn't make that much of a difference because I thought my initial thoughts going into this game were it's going to be defensive, a lot of running, maybe a few big plays from Buffalo. I think Buffalo can still hit it. I'm going to take the Bills still. It's going to be cold in Buffalo. It's more of Buffalo's game. I feel like they're going to try some things. I feel like in the past game they're going to maybe try a few trick plays. I don't think the Bills are going to go 6-3 after a red hot start. I think they're going to sneak away with this one. I like Minnesota though because I think they match up as well as any team against Buffalo. I think this is Buffalo's hardest team that they've played, the hardest matchup that they've had. So they have Jefferson, Thielen, Osborne, Hawkinson. They're running the ball really well. And Buffalo's run defense is pretty shaky. The past few weeks, they've been giving up a lot of big plays on the ground to Aaron Jones, and then this week, Michael Carter, this past week. So it's going to be close. I really would not be surprised if either team wins, especially because obviously Josh Allen is out, most likely. So, but I'll take Buffalo. I'll stay safe on this one. I don't see them dropping it, but it's probably their best. It's probably their hardest matchup that they've had. And Minnesota's defense, bro, do not sleep on Minnesota's defense. They're really good. They're top 5 in the red zone. I'm pretty sure they're the first ranked defense. They're the top ranked defense in the red zone. So Case Keenum, man, he might have to pull a little Miami, a little Minnesota miracle, Minneapolis miracle. Yo, you imagine that happens again against the Vikings? Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs down the sideline against the Vikings to win it, or any game-winning touchdown from Keenum to Diggs. That would be sick. That would be all worth it to watch it in and of itself. Denver and Tennessee. Over-under for this game, bro, it's 36.5. That was yesterday. It might actually be lower now. Ryan Tannehill should be coming back. Titans defense is playing a lot better, and they aren't giving up big plays to teams. They're making teams drive the length of the field. Dude, they wreaked havoc on Mahomes. They almost won that game with Malik Willis in Kansas City. Like, that is impressive. So I'll give the Titans defense credit. I think they're gonna absolutely wreck Russell Wilson. He played a lot better in London. I gotta give him that. But and you know what else? A really, really interesting stat that I found. Russell Wilson is first in the league. I think it's 16 if I'm not mistaken, at pass attempts over 30 yards. Pass attempts that traveled 30 yards. He's first in that category. So he's taking the shots. He's just not hitting on the shots. There's something, man. There's just something not right. And it's honestly about 90% of Wilson just throwing air balls, just throwing airhead throws, like really bad plays. It's mainly Wilson doing that. But it's also, it has a lot to do with everything, the play calling at a certain time or receivers not coming down with the ball. But it's mostly Wilson. They could have a tough time, though, the Titans as well, because the Broncos' defense is just as good. This might honestly be like a 10-9, 13-10 final. Wouldn't be surprised. Really good, interesting defensive game that nobody's going to watch unless you're watching Red Zone. So I guess that means I'm going to watch it. So I'm really the butt of the joke, am I? But if you got Derrick Henry, doesn't matter how bad the Titans' pass game is, Derrick Henry going to get the ball 30 times. And that's the difference in this kind of game. Titans have Derrick Henry, Broncos don't. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Titans. Arizona, LA. Now for the 4 o'clock. Another boring shoot yourself in the leg kind of game, in the foot, really. Both these teams can't get a big play on offense if their life fucking depended on it. Arizona's third last in yards per play at 4.9. The Rams are dead last at 4.7. Arizona's last in pass yards per attempt. And it's so obvious when you watch it, too. It's like Murray's throwing just check down after check down, or receiver screen after receiver screen, bubble screen, quick throw. It's like, it's pain. It's like fucking, I want to gouge my eyes out. And I have Murray in fantasy, so it's also just as bad. But I'm 2-7, so season's almost over. If I lose this week, I'm done. Tanking for that first pick, I'm fucking done. Getting Christian McCaffrey, by the way, if I get the first pick. Yeah, these teams are horrendous. The offenses are horrendous. They're at a grinding halt. I don't even know what to think. I don't even I don't know how either of these teams have 3 wins. Arizona's more talented, but they're more sloppy. Yeah, like the Rams might be slightly less sloppy, but they're not as talented. It's Cooper Kupp or nobody. They have no running game. I mean, we've been over this thousands of times. Cardinals defense makes splash plays. Connor's in his second game back. I think it's low scoring relatively, but I think Arizona wins. I do think D-Hop and Connor being back, they're starting to pick up steam a little bit more. So I'm going to pick Arizona. Could be low scoring, may not be. You gotta feel for the Rams defense, man. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. Their offense cannot get a lick. They can't score over 14, dude. It's so bad. This is the team that was in the Super Bowl. You know? Even when the Niners were, like, decimated. Even when the Niners were decimated in 2020, even they put on some fights. You know? Even they were, like, scoring over 20 points. But this team just cannot score, dude. It's bad. Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. It's tough to watch, but I'm taking Arizona. Dallas and Green Bay. I'm taking Dallas, but I think Green Bay's game. Zeke looks like he's going to be out again. Green Bay's D's hanging in there. They lose Eric Stokes for the year, but still have a good defense. I know they lost Rashawn Gary too, but still have a good defense. Green Bay's problems have came from third down, and last week in particular in the red zone. They stall more than any other offense ever has. That's what it looks like. And even when they get the running game going, they can't get the passing game going. So it's just a pick your poison of how they're going to fuck up, basically. And it's pretty fun to watch, you know, being a 49er fan. It's like, well, I mean, I just love it. You know, there's nothing more than I love seeing than realizing we're not going to have to verse Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, even though we beat him every time. Yeah, Rodgers had the worst game in forever. I don't think he's had that bad of a performance in like since 2018, probably 2016, 15, something like that. But I don't think he repeats a terrible performance in Lambeau. Big game, I don't think it's possible. You know what's fucked up? They have big plays. Like, they're able to hit big plays. They just can't sustain drives. It's frustrating as hell to watch. They just need to not turn the ball over. And they aren't a good team right now, but if they just clean up like Tampa Bay, the little things, they'll be much better off. They have 2 really good running backs. Use them, use them to your advantage. You lose Dobbs, but you still got Lazard who's playing good. You still got Tunyon. Let some guys play, man. Just get the ball in their hands. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but a lot of teams figure out ways to do it. So just figure out a way to do it. Dallas is rolling. As for Dallas, they're rolling. Look out for Michael Gallup. I think he could have a big game. It'll be tight, but their defense could easily do it, like they did to the Bears and Lions. Their defense could easily run away with it, especially if they're playing an offense like Green Bay. And I think it's an interesting matchup, but I could see it going either way. I think Dallas can likely blow them out. I wouldn't be surprised because Dallas is playing really well. But I'm going to take Dallas, but I would not be surprised if Green Bay even wins or if they keep it close. So Sunday night and Monday night, we're going to go Sunday night. Picking San Fran off rip. Just want to get that clear. Debo's back. CMC, full go. Kittle, Ayuk. Jawan Jennings back. Azeez Al-Shire back. Niners lose Jason Verrett. Hey, prayers up to JV. When I saw that news, I actually was so shocked. He tore his Achilles. Bro, that's like his ninth injury, his eighth injury that's ended a season. Realistically, like, okay, like I'd say about like fifth injury that's ended his season. He tore his ACL last year and he was just getting back. He was just going to return and he tore his Achilles in practice. Dude, like, I don't even know what to say. Verrett, like, prayers up to you, man. But Niners are getting a lot of their guys back. The Chargers, they showed a lot of guts last week. Herbert is a warrior. Just like the Niners, they're hurt. They're battle tested. No Joey Bosa for this game. No Mike Williams. No Keenan Allen. That's huge for a second straight game. It's going to be hard for the Chargers, but I think Eckler and Josh Palmer and Everett, I think they're enough offense to keep it close. They might be game for a little bit, but I feel like the more you just keep hitting underneath stuff, dude, it's going to, the pass rush is going to get to you because you can't do that forever, and you're going to have to stretch the field at some point, and I think Bosa and company are going to be feasting on Herbert. Niners have Debo and CMC, who now has a full grasp of the offense. And the 49ers get Elijah Mitchell back, so it's not going to be a full workload. Or it might be. Mitchell, you never know with the Niners, man. Kyle Shanahan's always got something crazy going on in that head of his. But I think CMC has another huge game. I think Jimmy has a good game. I think he might go for three TDs, baby. Maybe one on the ground. It's going to be a good one, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I mean, I'm saying the same thing with all these games, but they should be relatively close, all of them. But, I mean, I don't know. For the Niners, dude, they got too much talent. They could easily, like, just take this and run with it, A fast start, it's like, I don't think the Chargers can overcome it. They're way too decimated, but, yeah. Look out for a big game from CMC and Jimmy. I like it this week. Monday Night Football, picking Philly, no shocker. The Washington Commanders, shout out Commanders on IG, follow them. Red Wolves would have been so much better, so much more sick, so hard, full send, but you fucked it. Whoever chose a name, you fucked it. I'm not surprised. Poverty organization. And that's enough hating on Washington. I'm sorry. Philly, I still believe they're the best team, but I figured out what I kind of noticed the past few weeks. They can't score in the second half. I mean, they can, but they have a little trouble. They have a game plan, and it's their script, and it's running the ball. And when you run the ball as much as they do, they run it more than they pass it, you're going to keep teams in games a little bit because, you're milking the clock, and other teams have time to adjust. Sitting there on the sideline, you're not hitting big explosive plays, so there's less time on the clock. So it's not going to be you blowing teams out. That's why Houston, they kept it close up until the fourth quarter, really, because they were running it just as good as the Eagles. Dameon Pierce had a great game. It's 14-14 at halftime against Houston. Like, the way that they play, they're not going to blow teams out. They could, don't get me wrong, but it's just the way they play. Games are going to be closer than you think it should be. But the reason why they keep winning is because they're just so much better that they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball so well that they don't ever have to really worry about losing the game. Like, they're not going to turn the ball over. They're going to take the ball away. They're efficient. Jalen Hurts' completion percentage is in the high 60s, low 70s, I'm pretty sure. And, yeah, he's completing, he's going 20 for 25. Like, the dude is not going to miss a lot. It's just the way that they play. And A.J. Brown is going to get you big run after the catch. The running game works. It's like, they're just so, on point and efficient with their offense. It's hard to beat them, even if you play your best game like Houston did, in my opinion. But, yeah. For Washington, don't turn the ball over, and maybe you got a chance. I don't think it's going to be close, though. I actually think this is going to be a blowout. Minnesota was game at the end, but Washington was game until the end, and Minnesota beat them. But we saw what Philly did to Minnesota. They beat them by 2 scores. I don't think it's close. I actually think Philly gets a defensive touchdown in there. I think it's a blowout. I think it is a blowout. I think Heineke is going to be looking like he drank 8 Heinekens because he's going to be stumbling all over the field, getting hit, getting his ass smacked by Fletcher Cox. Pause. But yeah. Yeah, I'm picking Philly, obviously. I don't think Commanders have a chance. Sorry about it. I think Hurts has another big game, maybe another 4 TD game, maybe. I like it. Yeah, look out for another Dallas Goddard big game. I like Goddard for a big game again. Let's see. We got anything else? I don't know. Yeah, that was weird though, because going back to what I said about Philly. I think, like I said, I stand behind them as the best team in the league, but it will be interesting to see how they play in the playoffs, if there really is any team that can beat them besides the Niners or Dallas, or maybe the Giants. Maybe if they get Beckham. Other than that, Philly is looking like the favorites, but don't sleep on the Niners, man. Okay, that was Week 10 preview. Gotta hit the editing. Gotta hit the editing chair now, because I gotta get this up by Saturday morning, and I gotta be able to watch Ohio State too. So it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good Saturday. If you're watching this, please subscribe and please follow the Deep Ball on Instagram. Hope you enjoyed Week 10 games. I'll see you Tuesday. Thanks.